In this video, I'm going to break down everything, the full licensing process, what it actually costs, what nobody talks about, the real income numbers, the positives, the negatives, and most importantly, whether you should actually do this if you're thinking about it. And make sure to stay until the very end of this video because I'm going to be sharing something that can completely change how you launch a real estate career if you decide to go for it. Real quick, I'm Ricky J, the Realtor. I'm a licensed realtor here in British Columbia, and I've helped a lot of people navigate both getting through their real estate exam and actually building their business through lead generation and content marketing. I'm not a guru by any means, and I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm just someone who's been through it and wants to give you the real picture before you make a decision that costs you time and money, because you can't be a broke realtor. And I'll get into that later on in this video. Before we even talk about the licensing, I need to give you some context on what the market actually looks like right now. Because if you go into this with the bare minimum knowledge, you're going to be in for a serious rude awakening and reality check. BC real estate in 2026 is not the same as it was a few years ago. During COVID, the market was on fire. Homes were selling in hours, multiple offers on everything. Buyers were waiving conditions just to compete. People were even viewing homes on Zoom, which I think is kind of crazy, but people were actually doing it. Some agents were making some serious paper with what felt like bare minimal effort. Right now, homes are sitting on the market longer. Buyers are hesitant. Interest rates have made affordability a real issue. And in BC, affordability was already a massive problem before rates even went up. We're talking about one of the most expensive real estate markets in the entire world. Vancouver is consistently ranked along cities like Hong Kong, Sydney, London for housing costs relative to income. And the 2026 market already doesn't look like it's going to be a spectacular year in real estate by any means. But do your own research on that. So what does it mean for you as someone thinking who's becoming a real estate agent? It means buyers are stressed. They're second guessing every single decision. They're backing out. They're canceling showings. I personally had so many potential buyers fall off and just decided to rent or not buy at all. If you're a realtor and you've had the same experience, let me know in the comments because I know I'm not alone on that one. Buyers are also scared of overpaying. They want to time the market, even though nobody can actually time the market. And sellers, a lot of them are still anchored to the peak prices from a couple years ago, and they don't want to hear that the market has shifted, especially when in many cases, they'd be selling at a loss. And nobody wants to lose money, right? As an agent, you become the person in the middle of all that emotion. You're not just showing homes. You're managing expectations, educating clients, handling fear and stress, and trying to close deals in an environment where everyone is uncertain. Here's the thing though, and this is important. That doesn't mean opportunity doesn't exist. It actually means the opposite. Because when the market gets tough, a lot of agents fall off. They quit. The industry forecast suggests that around 300,000 agents across North America could exit the industry by sometime in 2026, with a large number of those being right here in Canada. Approximately 75% of realtors in North America closed fewer than 5 transactions per year, and a high percentage of new agents leave the industry within the first 2 years. Many agents don't even get a single listing in their first year or a sale, and this is very common. But the agents who are still standing, they're the ones picking up more and more clients because they've proven they can actually deliver value and grind it out. And that could be you. Okay, now let's talk about the actual process of getting your real estate license here in BC. Let's talk about UBC registration. Everything starts here. In BC, your real estate licensing education is governed through the UBC Sauder School of Business. This is not optional. This is not something you can just skip over. Whether you want to become a real estate agent, a mortgage broker, or a strata property manager, you must register through UBC, period. They control access to the licensing exam. So if you think you can just find a prep course somewhere, study up, show up at an exam center, and just pay for the exam, that's not how it works. You register with UBC, complete their course, meet their requirements, and book your exam. I get asked about this all the time, and I'll say very clearly, there's no way around this. That's just how it is. Now let's get into the course. Once you're registered, you'll get access to a self-study online course. For real estate licensing, you're looking at 26 chapters, covering real estate law, contract law, ethics, professional financial statements, appraisals, local government law, property taxes, marketing, technology, and even construction. It is a lot of material and it doesn't exactly flow like a novel you'd sit down and enjoy reading. I'm sure you've seen the textbook. It's like this thick. It can absolutely be overwhelming. When I wrote the exam, a lot of people were saying they got roughly 60% law questions and 40% math questions. But lately, I've been hearing it can be more of a toss-up since they keep adding new questions to the exam regularly. Personally, math is not my strongest subject. But here's the thing. It's formula-based. If you stick with it and put in the time, you will get there. I had multiple tutors myself helping me and I got through it. So you should be able to do the same if you're struggling with math. Now, here's something that catches a lot of people off guard. You have 3 years to complete the entire process. That sounds like plenty of time, right? And then a year goes by and you realize you're only on chapter 4. I was once there as well. I would get so focused on the math questions and then completely forget about the law side of things. But within the 3-year window, there are specific things you must do within the first year. And if you miss them, you lose your registration. You have to start from scratch and pay all over again. So listen very carefully. Within year 1, you need to submit all your assignments to UBC. There are 20 assignments and you can submit 2 per week, which means you're looking at a minimum of 10 weeks to get through them all. You cannot book the exam until those are completed. The second thing, English language proficiency requirement, which is also known as the ELPR. You can submit a bachelor's degree and UBC may accept that. If not, you'll need to take the CELPEP general language test. It's 3 hours long. For more information on this, please visit celpep.ca. Let me just tell you real quick about that test. When I wrote that test, it was a 3-hour test, and one person in our whole group, they finished in about 2 hours. But everyone else took up the whole time. So just keep that in mind. For myself, it wasn't that hard, but it did take me the whole time. Now the exam. This is where the stress really kicks in for most people. If you fail your first attempt, you must wait 90 days before you can try again. That's 3 months of staying motivated, keeping the material fresh, and preparing to go back in. And if you fail your second attempt, that's it, you're done. You will have to re-register, pay the fees again, submit all the assignments again, and restart the whole process. I've actually been there myself. I had to re-register at one point just because life got busy and I basically wasted money. So please do not treat this exam casually, prepare seriously. Now, your basic eligibility. You must be 19 years or older and legally authorized to work in Canada, Canadian citizen or open permit. You must pass a good reputation assessment, criminal record background, and financial history review. Now let's talk about money, specifically what is going to cost you before you even make a single penny. Because a lot of people only think about the course fees and then they get completely blindsided by everything else. Been there, trust me. So getting licensed includes UBC registration fees, exam fees, licensing application fee with BC Financial Services Authority, prep program costs, if you use one of those to help you pass, which I do recommend. There's many of them out there. All in from zero to licensed, approximately $2,000 to $4,000, maybe more after you join a brokerage. Brokerage fees, monthly desk commission splits or both, MLS board fees, all these dues. Errors and omissions insurance, which is mandatory. Business cards, signs, lockboxes, website, CRMs, marketing. And marketing could be a wide variety of things. That's advertisements, mailers, merchandise, gift cards. This is why I say you can't be a broke realtor, all right? Because you're already starting off spending so much. Not to mention gas, driving to showings, listings, and meetings constantly. Not to mention waiting in traffic while all this is going on. And what really stings, all of these expenses exist whether you close a deal or not. The fees do not care if you sold 2 homes this month or 0. Fees are coming regardless. The average real estate agent in Canada makes between $46,000 and $58,000 a year. Now, before you say that's not that bad, that is gross income before expenses. Here's the hard truth. A large percentage of newly licensed agents don't make it past their first 2 years. Not because they couldn't pass the exam, because they didn't have enough financial runway to survive while they were building their client base. So before you go all in, ask yourself, do I have to cover my personal expenses for at least 6 to 12 months while I build this out? You might be thinking right now, Ricky, this sounds brutal. Why would anyone want to do this? And that's a completely fair question. So let me flip it. Because the upside of this career is very real. Number 1, there's no ceiling on what you can earn. The agents who build their brand, stay consistent, and genuinely serve their clients are making 6 figures. Some are making multiple 6 figures. In a market like BC, where the average home prices are still among the highest in the country, one single commission can be life-changing. You're only limited by how hard you work and how smart you build. Number 2, you own your time. Nobody tells you when to show up or how many clients to take on. You build your own schedule and you run your own business. And if you do it right, you create a lifestyle that most people working a regular job will never have. Number 3, you become the expert in the room. When you really know your market, when you can sit across from a client and confidently explain exactly what's happening in their neighborhood and why the home is priced that way, what their options are, what the risks are, you become indispensable. People pay for that expertise. Number 4, real estate builds relationships for life. This is not a one and done transaction business. When you help someone buy their first home, they remember you. When their friend is looking to buy, they call you. When they're ready to upgrade in 5 years, they'll call you. The agents who focus on relationships instead of just the commission are the ones who build a referral-based business that basically runs itself after a few years. Number 5, you can build real wealth alongside your clients. A lot of successful agents don't just earn commissions, they also invest in real estate themselves. If you're smart about it, being a realtor can become foundation of your own personal wealth building strategy. Okay, Let's get into what separates the agents who make it from the ones who don't, because it's not just about passing the exam. That's honestly the easy part. The real hard work starts right after. So many agents get lost after they get licensed, which is exactly why having a good mentor is absolutely key. One of the most common things I hear from other agents is that they got their license and they still have no idea on how to handle the paperwork and submit the forms properly. And their managing broker is way too busy to walk them through it. I hear this all the time. You must know how to really communicate. People in 2026 can smell inauthenticity from a mile away. They want an agent who listens, who understands their situation, and who tells them the truth even when it's not what they want to hear. If you can be that person, clients will trust you and they will refer you. You got to have a social media presence. This is not optional. If you're not building a presence online, you are not visible to a massive portion of your potential market. Buyers and sellers are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, they're on it. They're watching content and getting to know agents before they even reach you. You don't need to be a professional content creator. You just need to show up consistently, share your knowledge and share your personality, and let people get to know you. That's it. There's so many agents out there who are still scared to get on video, but it's a part of the game. There is a lot of agents who don't have much social media presence. However, they're doing great in terms of sales. Majority of them are working off referral business, which is great. And please don't buy fake followers. It ruins your account. You're just buying bots. So many agents do this and it completely ruins your accounts. I do not recommend doing that at all, and I see it all the time. You also have to be on top of your leads like a cheap suit. It honestly reminded me of my good old days doing collections. The follow-ups never stop. You could be working a lead for a year or two and they still don't end up buying from you. You're doing everything right, and then at the last minute, they go through a cousin or a friend who's also a realtor, or they decide to rent instead of buying, or they had a family emergency come up and they can't afford a down payment anymore. It's happened to me personally, and I know it's happened to plenty of other realtors too. Some buyers are going to waste your time. That's just a part of the business. Market knowledge, clients will test you. Maybe not on purpose, but they will. They'll ask if now is a good time to buy. They'll ask if the price is fair. And if you're fumbling through those answers, you've already lost their confidence. Know your numbers, know your neighborhoods, know your market, know what's moving and what's not. A lot of buyers are researching online like crazy behind the scenes. You need to be the most informed person in the room. The grind is real. Let me be straight with you about something nobody really wants to say out loud. Real estate will take over your life, at least in the beginning. Imagine your phone is going off on a Sunday morning. You've got a client who wants to write an offer on Christmas Eve. You're in the middle of dinner and someone needs an answer right away, or they're moving on to the next agent. That's the serious reality of this industry. The agents who treat this like a regular job with regular hours are the ones who end up quitting in 6 months and wondering what went wrong. You've got to grind it out. This industry is not for the weak. So let's bring it all together. Is becoming a realtor in BC in 2026 worth it? Here's my honest answer. Yes, but only for the right person. You should absolutely go for it if you're self-motivated, if you genuinely like people, if you can handle uncertainty without panicking, if you're willing to invest in yourself and your brand, and you're ready to treat this like a real business from day one. But save your money. If you're looking for quick cash, if you want a predictable paycheck every 2 weeks, if you hate talking to people, if you hate social media and it makes you uncomfortable, or you're not willing to adapt when things shift, this industry is probably not for you. Because in real estate, the only constant is change. Rules and regulations are always evolving. The market is always evolving and changing. The industry never stays still. If you're not willing to move with it, it will move past you. Now, if you're watching this and something inside of you is saying, I'm built for this, don't wait. Seriously, the longer you wait, the longer you're delaying the momentum, and you could be building that right now. And they're only making the exam more challenging from what I've heard. And here's where I want to step in and actually help you, because passing the exam is one thing, but launching your career in the right direction is a whole other conversation. I'm now with eXp Realty, and one of the things I'm genuinely passionate about is helping new agents not just get licensed, but getting started the right way. I've guided many people through the exam process. Choosing a brokerage is a really tough decision. There are so many options out there. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and I can point you in the right direction. If you want to learn more about how eXp works, what kind of support you'd have, how the model is different than traditional brokerages, drop a comment below, send me a DM, or click the link in the description to book a time with me directly. We'll have a real conversation, no pressure, no sales pitch, just information. And lastly, we're still giving out that free merch. You can get yourself a free t-shirt or travel mug completely free. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, drop a comment in any one of my videos and write the words I have subscribed, and I will reach out to you and get you that free merch. I even personally deliver it to you depending on how far you are. If you're living in the UK or Zimbabwe though, sorry, you're out of luck on that one. Shipping cost to England is just crazy, by the way. If this video gave you a better insight into what this career actually looks like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next video. This is Ricky J, the Realtor with eXp Realty, and I'm signing out. Thanks for watching.